In an industry stuffed with marketing bullshit, empty promises, and shiny-suited liars, one woman's had enough. She knows what it's like to have the wrong clients, no money, and no time for fun. But she also knows how to fix it. And on the Business for Superheroes show, she promises to tell the down and dirty truth about business, sales, and running away with the circus. Here's your host, Vicky Fraser.
Hello and welcome to the Business for Superheroes show. I'm Vicky Fraser and I'm here with my amazing husband, Joe.
Hello.
Hello.
Amazing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had a really nice weekend and it's all down to you. Not nice, I hate the word nice.
Nice.
Had a fabulous weekend.
Excellent. Good.
Because it's my birthday.
Yay.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, Vicky. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday. What?
Do the weird Fraser stuff that you do.
No.
Oh, man. Why?
It's secret and embarrassing.
Anyway, we've got champagne because of that. Cheers.
Champagne. It's very nice. And I have a cold, in case you were wondering why I sound like a bit gravelly and a bit sniffy. I will have to apologise for any sniffing and coughing and sneezing that I do.
I was just about to say it's like your sexy porn voice, but probably not with the sniffing.
Right.
I'm sorry you feel ill.
So if every time I sneeze, the podfly guys kind of, I don't know, edit over the sound of a duck quacking or
that would be
an
amazing.
amusing, sound effect, preferably from a Looney Tunes cartoon or something.
That would be amazing. Guys, if you could do that, that would be awesome.
It'd be great. Only if I sneeze.
Or sniff. Preferably sniff, because sneezing
yeah.
is like, sneezing's okay, but sniffing's great. There you go. The sniffing's gross. Anyway, I should also point out that it's not my birthday now while you're listening to this, because it's now Friday the something. And today when we're recording it is Monday the 27th.
Cool.
Of March, so.
Isn't your, birthday one of those things you're supposed to kind of keep relatively private to avoid identity fraud?
Well, if you're really paranoid and you want it to... I probably don't care nearly enough about shit like that.
Anyway.
And there's probably our other listener, hi Vegard.
Hi, Vegard.
Our other listener is probably now going, I can steal her identity really easily.
Yeah.
You probably could steal my identity. I shouldn't be saying that, should I? Anyway, right.
Hi, fraudsters.
So, what are we talking about this week?
We were going to talk about stress.
Oh, we were. That seems like a very unjolly subject.
Well,
I don't know why I chose it on my birthday.
was it because you'd just gone through a couple of months of stressful?
Yes. And the other day I was talking to a lady called Danielle Sachs, who is Belgian and who I am interviewing on the podcast in a few months.
Oh, hello, Danielle.
Hello, Danielle. So that's great. And she's like uber knowledgeable about stress and all kinds of stress management and stuff. So the disclaimer in this episode is everything that you hear me say, I am not a trained doctor or psychologist or psychiatrist or psychoanalyst or any kind of other psycho.
So we're just talking from experience here.
Yeah, just from experience. So that's my disclaimer. And if you feel like suing anybody, then I'm not it.
Find somebody else.
So yeah, and I think part of the reason that I wanted to talk about it was partly because basically the month after Christmas was just fucking awful for me anyway, and entirely my own fault. And partly because I find it really worrying when you kind of say, say to someone, oh, how are you doing? And are you all right? Because you seem a bit down. And they're like, oh, it's nothing. I'm just a bit stressed. Because there's no such thing as, there's no, just a bit stressed. Stress is serious. It kills people. Yeah.
It's no way to spend your life, for sure.
It isn't. And so I thought that we should talk about... first of all, what stress is, as far as and I've done a bit of research, so this is kind of based on my research.
Not just making it up.
I'm not just making it up and my experience and stuff. So we'll talk about that, and then we'll also talk about some of the causes of stress from my point of view. Okay. And then some of the things that you can do to make your life less stressful, I think. A podcast in 3 parts, if you will.
Okay.
So yeah. The reason that I had a really stressful month just after Christmas is entirely my own fault. It's kind of what happens when you say yes to too many things. You end up with too many things to do.
For sure. You said yes to too many people.
I did. And I kind of did it when I didn't have that much on, and I was like, oh, I've got loads of time, it's going to be fine. But I hadn't kind of factored in that actually there's, time is linear and there's only one of me and I can do all of these things at once in the first 2 months of the year. So that's the first lesson, kids. You are not an octopus. Or maybe you are. Maybe we've got octopuses listening.
If we have, do email us.
Yeah, because that would be awesome. The second thing is that stress, nothing is worth the pain of stress. It's a kind of, and it's physical pain as well. And that's like the really weird thing is that, you've got kind of stuff buzzing around your head, but the physical symptoms of stress are headaches, tight chest pain and shortness of breath, which I've had before, lethargy, exhaustion, upset stomach, low energy and insomnia, all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of bonkers. So next time you're thinking, I'm just a little bit stressed, have a think about that, because, if you're worried about stuff to the extent that it is affecting your physical body,
you need to do something about that.
You do need to do something about that. It's like it's your actual body, that is having a physical reaction to stuff that's going on.
I've heard it said, though I'm not sure if it's true, that it's stress is very much like a reaction to fear. It's the kind of fight or flight thing. So you get all adrenalined up, but there's nothing you can do about it.
No, and that is exactly what it is.
We're evolved to either hit it with a rock or run away, and in our modern life, we don't really get the opportunity to hit many things with rocks, or indeed drop everything and leg it.
You've just completely ruined my amazing stories about cavemen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that's fine. No, I'm stressed.
Oh, man.
No, it's fine. No, you're exactly right about that. It totally, we've evolved to deal very effectively with stress in short bursts, because if we didn't, if we weren't able to cope with stress, then we would have died out as a species a long time ago. And this is where my amazing caveman stories come in, because it's like it is a fight or flight response to danger or some other stimulus, which kept us from going extinct. And it was a good thing, because if you're like hanging around with your caveman mates and there's a saber-toothed tiger kind of rocks up, then running the fuck away is a good stress response to have. Good choice. But if you're a caveman with like a family and stuff, and another caveman from over the hill comes along with a big stick, then the correct fight or flight response to that would be to get a bigger stick and hit him until he stops moving or runs away. And that's kind of that's all very healthy, but that's like an immediate threat.
Yes, it's supposed to be a short-term solution, isn't it? It's supposed to be a really short-term, 10 minutes and you're done. It
is. That's absolutely what it's supposed to be. And the problem with our modern life is that we end up with real stress going on. It is real stress going on as well, but it's kind of constructed stress that we construct from the modern world. But it doesn't go away. And we don't allow it to, there are very few things that you can kind of use that stress response to hit it and it goes away.
Sure.
And that's the problem, because your body...
People still do get some relief from running and hitting things, though.
Yeah, that is true, but it's a temporary relief, and it doesn't get rid of the underlying problem. It doesn't solve the problem. No. And so, we have not... Because what happens physically when you're stressed is that your body is flooded with adrenaline and... Is it cortisone, I think?
Could be.
But it's flooded with stress hormones and stress chemicals. And the reason that your body does that is so that you can deal with the immediate danger. It gives you enough energy. It gives you
big energy dump, and increases your reaction time, and
and it does all sorts of things, and it like affects your digestion. It affects your nervous system. It affects your endocrine system. All of it affects basically your entire body. And the problem is, if you are under a sustained amount of stress for a long period of time, that's like all of that shit is being pumped through your body continuously at a lower level than if it was like an immediate saber-toothed tiger, but still it's there all the time, and it causes awful stuff to happen, in my medical opinion.
Highly qualified medical opinion.
But it does, though. It does. I mean, people die from stress. They have heart attacks. They have strokes.
Yeah.
They commit suicide. This shit is not. It's not funny. We're kind of laughing about it, but it's not funny. And we treat it as if we should just man the fuck up and get on with it and deal with it. And it's like, that is so unhelpful. So unhelpful. And it's kind of I guess it's the way we treat mental health in this country, or in the Western world. Full stop, really. We have a very messed up relationship with mental health and with people with mental health issues.
I think, a few years ago, certainly it was very much pull yourself together and get on with it. And I think that's changing now, but it's changing slowly. It's changing generationally, isn't it? As
It is, but then there's also this kind of, and we're drifting slightly off topic here, but I want to kind of talk about this because it's really important. The single biggest cause of death for men aged under, I think I haven't got the ages exactly right here, but for men aged under 45, I think, is suicide.
Yeah.
In the Western world. That is enormous. That is an enormous problem that is being swept under the carpet because men don't feel that they can talk about this stuff. And I bet that stress has a big part to play in that because, there's a lot of pressure to provide and, all the rest of it.
I bet it does.
So, what are you looking at?
I was just looking at the thing was very quiet. We're not generating many bars on the thingamajig.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me that we weren't recording. We've done that before.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, but we kind of drifted off topic a little bit there. But it is, modern stress is ongoing and debilitating and damaging, and we can't live like that. And quite often, I think you live like that, and eventually you forget it's there because the sharp mental kind of panic goes away because it becomes normal, but your body is still producing all of that stress stuff, which is why I think you can actually literally feel a weight being lifted off your shoulders when the cause of the stress goes away and you're like, didn't even realise that was bothering you.
That's quite a big thing. Yeah, you say that quite often actually, when a plan changes or a deadline moves or, something happens and you'll quite often say, oh, I didn't realise that was bothering me. But it seems it was because now I feel, happier or lighter or less worried about stuff.
Yeah. I should point out, by the way, that Joe says I say that quite often. I don't make the same mistake over and over again. This is kind of new stuff that I do, isn't it? It's like, oh, that seems like a good idea. Let's do that. Or that seems like a good idea. Let's do that.
You have a common theme of overcommitting, I think.
Yes, I do. But I don't think that's not unusual among business owners and entrepreneurs.
No, of course it's not.
Which is why I wanted to talk about it because
got to pay for all those shoes.
Shop. But a lot of people don't talk about this because you'll see like all of these, amazing business owner gurus, especially the fucking internet marketing lot. And it'll be like, look at my Lamborghini and look at my perfect life and look at this and look at that. And it's like, people look at them and think, oh, I need, and it's like endless. I was about to say the name of a very well-known internet marketer whose face I want to punch.
Avocado Wolf.
Oh no, he's not an internet marketer. He's a dick, and I will quite happily say that I want to punch him in the face. No, this is somebody who does the internet marketing thing and all about the motivational memes and stuff like getting people to hustle and grind 24/7. And it's like that is so damaging. It's like work hard, work your arse off, and do it in short bursts as well. I will quite happily work 17-hour days for a few days at a time if I've got something going on. But to suggest that that's the way to live your life and become successful is bullshit and dangerous.
Yes, it just means you really need to systemize something and sort out the root cause of what the hell's going on, not just worry about it. If you are working that hard for that long on a sustained basis, there is something very badly wrong with your business. Yeah. Very badly wrong. And, to say, oh, the answer is to do more and to try and drag more money in and to not invest in yourself to work with somebody who can help you fix this shit is short-sighted and stupid, frankly. Yeah.
So let's have a look at some of the things that cause stress. Many things cause stress, and I'm talking now about business, mostly business stuff. So I'm not talking about family stuff and relationships
But that all adds to it.
But all of that adds to it. So, I'm going to reiterate my disclaimer here: seek expert advice if you're suffering, because I am not it. For physical and mental health symptoms and whatnot. And do tune in a couple of months when I'm interviewing an actual expert in this stuff, because she'll be talking about coping mechanisms sort of stuff. But anyway, this is my take on it and my experiences. So my top 5 stress factors as a small business owner / entrepreneur, and my experiences over the past few years of running my own business. So overwhelm. Saying yes to too many things causes real bad stress.
The feeling that taking on more clients or selling more stuff is going to make things easier or better in some respects, and you just drag too much into your life and then you have not enough time to do it. Yeah.
Too many things to do, not enough time to do it. And it's driven by fear and panic and that feeling that, shit, how am I going to pay this next bill?
How am I paying the mortgage? Here comes my tax bill.
Yeah.
I need a big cash injection right about now.
Yeah. And, there are people who leap from job to job, from task to task, from customer to customer. It's like, I must get... And that kind of short-term panic thinking is incredibly stressful, and it's going to keep you poor. is going to keep you poor. I know that because I've been there.
I mentioned this to you the other day, a podcast called The Hidden Brain.
You did?
And it was all about scarcity.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a hell of a thing. Yeah. Really worth listening to. Not quite as good as this podcast, obviously, but it was damn good.
Yeah.
Hidden Brain.
Yeah, the scarcity... Most people do have a scarcity mindset, and the scarcity mindset will keep you broke, miserable, and stressed.
And making bad decisions.
Any business decision, any decision really, but any business decision made out of fear is a bad business decision because you cannot see beyond the immediate problem. You cannot see the long-term ramifications of it. This is kind of like when you're leaping or stumbling from client to client, just dragging that next couple of grand in, that next couple of £100 in. You can't make any longer-term plans to stop that. Yeah. Because you're stuck in the cycle.
You're busy churning the work.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm doing with my superheroes, is getting them or trying to get them out of that cycle of, just desperately struggling from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
And putting in place a mechanism that will allow you to,
So how much time, Vicky, do you spend on your business as opposed to other people's businesses or clients or work that you're being paid to do? How much time do you spend on your business?
That's a very good question. And it is a minimum of 2 hours a day at the beginning of every day. And certainly the first hour of every single day is dedicated to me and my business. That's the first thing I do. So
if we said, optimistically, your day was, well, I suppose it should be 8 hours, but it's probably more like...
Nobody can be productive for 8 hours a day.
Yeah. So you're probably spending maybe a quarter of your time on your business and systemizing and planning and thinking and learning rather than doing stuff.
It varies a little bit, but yeah. Okay. I want the top 20% of my time, the most productive 20% of my time, to be spent on my business. Because if I can't, and there are a lot of people, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who was like, I can't get out of this mindset that I have to do my client stuff first. And that's a crazy way to, and he knows this as well, but that's a crazy way to think, because if you don't look after yourself and your own business, then you can't possibly give your best to your clients.
Yeah.
If you're constantly panicking and struggling and bouncing from one client to the next or one customer to the next, then you are not giving them your best. So despite the fact that you might, they're paying me, I should be doing their stuff first. Bullshit. You shouldn't. The first person that you pay is yourself. Because until you've paid yourself, you can't give your energy to anybody else. It's a really, really important thing to get. It's a really difficult thing to get your head around.
Yes. But particularly, when you feel like a service and other people are paying you to be that service, so you spend all your time trying to provide that service. Yeah,
that's a really good point, actually, because thinking of yourself as a service is exactly the wrong kind of mindset as well, because what you should be is a trusted advisor. In whatever you do, even if you're selling physical products, you want to be positioning yourself as a trusted advisor, so that you can work with people. So this dude in Cleveland. Okay. John had sent him over my way before he realised what he was, and then apologised profusely later. But he wanted to write a book, and he came rocking over and interrupted the conversation as well.
Cool, good start.
And was like, I want to write a book and I want to use you. And I just turned around and I was like, sweetheart, nobody uses me. And I'm really fucking expensive. Nice. Haven't heard from him since. Which is the desired effect, because there isn't enough money in the world for me to work with somebody who says they want to use me.
Yeah.
And that, that's really important little side lesson there. Anyway, let's move on. So, okay, overwhelm. Complete lack of focus will cause stress, because it's unsurprising when you can't sit still or concentrate because everything's terrifying. That often comes from overwhelm. This is all linked. All this stuff is linked.
If you have 600 things to do, it's very difficult to do one of them well and get it off the list and make it go away. Yeah.
And that is the biggest problem that I find with my superheroes when they come to me with stuff, with the people that borrow my brain. It's not always, but, I would say probably 80% of the time, the problem that they have isn't the problem they think they've got. The problem they have is that they're trying to go in 4 different directions at once. There's an old Russian proverb, chase 2 rabbits, catch none. Yeah. It's absolutely true. So, you focus on your mission, and you do, to the exclusion of all else, outsource the other shit. Okay, you take care of the stuff that will get you in trouble, like paying your taxes.
Sure.
But, to the exclusion of all else, you focus on your mission. This is why I do my 3-month stretches. So that's the second thing. The third thing is awful clients who suck your time and energy and generally make your life miserable.
You've got the wrong clients.
And again, that's a consequence of being overwhelmed and unfocused and panicking, because you're like, I need to take everything that comes along. No, you don't. You don't need to take everything that comes along. You can always find more clients and make more money.
Yeah.
And if nobody's going to die and you're not, I'm not making light of people's kind of panic and worry at all. I'm genuinely not, because I've been there. But, you know, when it comes down to it, if nobody's going to die and you're not going to lose any limbs and you're not going to go to prison, it's, you know, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
You can always
certainly not in a Western democracy.
No, it really isn't. Even if you're like, oh, but paying the mortgage, you know what? If you go and talk to the bank, if you're really struggling that badly, if you go and talk to the bank, then they will help you. They don't want to repossess houses.
No, they don't want to own cheap houses.
No. And, you know, the key is not to kind of bury your head and not to... And, you know, if it comes down to that, I remember talking to somebody, if you are struggling that much, get a fucking job shelf stacking. Do what you need to do.
Yeah, to get yourself out of this hole.
There is no shame in that at all. You can come back, your business will be there when you're out the hole.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, but crappy clients. You don't need to take every job that comes along. And if somebody's being just really awful, then fire them. Because even if you're a bit skintier than you would like to be, the weight lifted off your shoulder will be... It will enable you to then focus on getting good clients.
Well, if getting rid of a couple of shit clients just means that you've got some time to find some better ones, then that's got to be good.
Exactly. And there's always stuff you can do to bring in cash. So, needy people... Needy clients, friends and family, people who are emotional vampires, people who suck your attention and give little in return and make it all about them, and, you know, just... And if you're anything like me, it's difficult to say no because you care about them.
Yeah.
And this is actually a real big problem, is, you know, friends and family and loved ones who you find it hard to say no to.
Oh, man. Am I a needy family?
No, you're like the opposite of a needy family, guys. So I don't really have many people like that in my life, and that's, you know, because I've got rid of them.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, that makes me sound like a really awful person, but I'm not. Because apart from anything else, you're not helping these people out by being there all the time, because 99% of their problems they can solve on their own.
Sure.
And so, you know, by always kind of jumping and giving them your energy and your time, you're not helping them out.
Not helping them fix anything.
So, and, you know, there are probably people listening to this thinking, oh, God, what an awful person she is, what a bitch. You know, I don't give a shit because I know I'm not. I know I'm kind, I'm generous, I'm loving. I just don't give my time to emotional vampires anymore.
Cool. I'm good for that. I like that.
Yeah. You can be kind and loving and generous without being a doormat.
For sure.
And finally, lack of predictable leads. Not enough money coming in because you've not got enough customers. Always bouncing between feast and famine, and the scarcity mindset again. This is all linked. So, you know, it's like, well, okay, how are you going to build a business that allows you to bring in a steady stream of predictable leads if you're panicking?
And if you need to close the doors for a couple of weeks while you sort out, you know, your lead generation or your funnels or your strategies or whatever it is that you're going to do, if you're going to stop working on client work in order that you can stabilize your business, then maybe that's a decision to take.
You would not believe the number of people that I have recommended to, you know, it's like, oh, I don't know where my new clients come from. You know what? Write a letter to the local businesses in your area, offer to write to their list of customers on their behalf, get them in a room, get them at an event. If you get people in a room, you're more likely to sell to them, and say, I will only take a chunk of money if, you know, you sell stuff. That's going to cost you nothing more than postage and paper and time. You might get screwed over by 0.01% of the people that you do this for, but you probably won't. Mm-hmm. And you might get some really great long-term clients out of it. And this is obviously for marketers and copywriters, but there are other things that you can do like that will, you know, and it's like even people who have nothing to do with marketing and copywriting that I've kind of spoken to in the past, it's like, well, you know what, you've got to be a marketer. So when's the last time you wrote a letter to your customers?
Yeah.
Oh, well, never. Well...
Yes, well, even if you're a hairdresser, you need to market hairdressing. If you're a mechanic, you need to market mechanicking.
Yeah.
You need to come up with strategies for making people turn up.
Yeah, and I could come up with, you know, a really simple, really effective marketing plan for pretty much anybody in any industry anywhere, which is what I do in my Borrow My Brains. Whether people actually do them or not, I haven't got much control over that, but I know they work.
Many of them, I guess, are probably too busy running around trying to satisfy grumpy clients.
Yeah. And, you know, I don't mean to kind of be snotty about it at all. I just find it frustrating because I hate seeing business owners suffer and struggle when they don't have to. Because I know what it feels like, because I've been there.
It's shit, isn't it?
It is shit. And
really horrible.
There's no need for it. And, people are lovely. People are such good people, and they've got such good businesses. And I just want them to be able to enjoy them.
Yeah.
So if I sound harsh, it's because I care. Basically. Anyway, so, yeah. All of that stuff is just really linked. Oh, just the bonus thing. I was listening to a podcast the other day. I can't remember which one. They were talking about how we're always living in either the past or the future. And that just adds to stress.
Right.
So you're kind of always like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And what's going to happen in 3 weeks? And oh my God, I've got to plan this and that. And I'm really guilty of this a lot. And we don't live in the moment. We don't enjoy the moment. We don't experience the moment, which is all we have. Because the past and the future don't exist.
Sure.
Sort of, yes, reflect on stuff that's happened in the past. And yes, make sensible plans for the future and fun plans for the future. But I reckon you should be spending most of your time now. And I think that would get rid of an awful lot of stress.
It would.
Worrying about stuff that hasn't happened yet. Jeepers. I reckon that's a byproduct of not having to worry about saber-toothed tigers anymore,
Just find something to worry about instead.
Yeah, I think that's what happens. We invent stuff to worry about. Everyone should do yoga and meditate on the beach. That'd be fun. Anyway, so, basically, stop saying yes to everything. Start with no, you don't need to do everything. Focus, what's your mission, how will you get there? And don't be wasting time with manifesting and Deepak Chopra's quantum bollocks either, because that will just keep you poor and get you mocked by me. Do something. Fire your shitty clients without looking back.
Yep.
Keep your good ones and find more of them. Ask for referrals is the best way. Simplest way. Go to your bestest clients, the ones who love you most and pay you most, and ask them to refer you. Ditch needy people.
Yep.
Or at least try and spend less time with them. I know you can't just ditch people.
Yeah.
But
some people might be looking after their mothers or something.
And that's fair enough. People who genuinely are in need is different, though. I'm talking about people who are, like, always bringing their latest EastEnders drama to you.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not talking about people who genuinely need things.
Okay.
And put together a system that lets you bring in regular leads, which is what I'm doing all the time, helping my superheroes to do. So, join us.
Yeah, sort you out.
businessforsuperheroes.com and /inner circle.
Something like
that. I'm about to have a new website. It might even be live by the time this goes live.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben. So, yeah, okay, good.
Okay.
Splendid.
Let's do that.
I hope you feel better, Joe.
Oh, man, I don't know how many sneezes and sniffs there's been superimposed onto this.
Not too many.
Hopefully
lots of Donald Duck quacks and
quite,
Looney Tunes. Wah, 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 wow.
Well, they need to take about as long as a sneeze, don't they?
Wah.
That would work.
Okay. Right, okay. So, cheers, Joe.
Oh, cheers, Vic.
And we'll see you guys same time next week.
Indeed.
Be good. If you can't be good, don't get caught. And don't get stressed. Or, deal with your stress and then don't stay stressed.
Oh, what about Andrew? New superheroes guy.
Oh, hi, Andrew and Joe.
Hi, Andrew and Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Joe joined after listening to a bunch of my podcasts and apparently getting him into trouble with his wife. Hi, Joe's wife.
Hi, Joe's wife.
So welcome, guys. That's awesome. Welcome to my superheroes.
Excellent.
I had to borrow my brain with Joe, and then he joined us, and he's got a really cool recruitment business. So
nice.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, good. We'll speak to you. We'll see you. No, we won't see you. You'll hear us. We'll be in your ears next week.
Coming in your ears.
Bye. Like what you've just heard? Tell your colleagues, tell your friends, send them to www.businessforsuperheroes.com/podcast.